So, full disclosure, I tried to film this before a few days ago. It's only been a few days, but it was very much not fall. It was not feeling like fall. I was wearing shorts. It was all wrong. And I didn't feel like I was being myself at all. So I'm attempting to redo this. So I want to give you the authentic me, at least the most authentic me that I can give you while I'm sharing a list that I thought out, took notes on, and whatnot. Oh, all right, good to work over there. There we go. Let's talk about tobacco blends for fall. When I think of fall blends, I honestly think of everything because fall is my favorite time to enjoy pipe tobacco, straight up. But I definitely gravitate more toward darker flavors in general. So, an example might be throughout the year, uh, in the summertime and springtime, I'm certainly doing more light roast coffee. I like to do a little pour over light roast. But as things get a little bit cooler in the autumn, might get into some French press medium roast, maybe a little bit of dark roast. But I think of tobacco blends the same way. So while summer is very much the season of Virginias and Virginia Periques, fall, I get into Burleys and more Englishes, maybe stronger Virginia Periques. So bear that in mind as I share my list with you. Sorry, I had to adjust the camera there. Let's get into the first one. So first up on my list is something that I tried for the first time ever this year. It is cinnamony, it is rich, it is cozy, it is comforting, and it is the one blend I have on my list that I guess is closest to being a Virginia-based blend, but it's not really a Virginia-based blend. It is actually a Vapor. It has Virginia Burley and Perique, and some interesting characteristics. I'm talking about Firestorm. And Firestorm is something that I had been meaning to try for a long time, and I finally got around to trying it this year. And I was very happy with it. Some of the more interesting notes I got here from it was in the tin, I got a kind of like a barbecued fruit roll up. And then when it comes to the taste, there's definitely some of that barbecue essence, but more of a woody kind of cinnamon note, some tart cherry, some sourdough bread, and a little bit of chocolate and fig Newton. So you can kind of hear from those notes that I got why I decided to put Firestorm on my list. All right, next up I've got an English blend for you. And this is one that I think is also a bit unique. It's a kitchen sink blend, and it's definitely not as cohesive as it could be, but I don't think that it's disjointed per se. So all the usual components, so Virginia, Orientals, a lot of Kia, but it also has Burley, Perique, and Black Cavendish. For this one, in my notes for the tin note, I put smoked almond liqueur. And then as far as the taste goes, there's a sweet nuttiness that borders on vanilla. It's very woodsy and smoky from the Latakia. But there's also, and I think this is where the autumn really comes into play, sort of a toasted marshmallow note that is somewhat reminiscent of, what is it? Northwoods. Yeah, Boswell's Northwoods. So this really nice, creamy kind of marshmallowy thing that goes on with that smokiness. And then one other component in this that stuck it to the fall category for me was a dried leaf note that we will be seeing in another of these blends that I'll be mentioning. But number 2, Seattle Pipe Club's Potlatch. Number 3 on my list is brand spanking new to me. It was actually a recommendation from one of my members, and I'll save the details on that for a little bit later, because I think that video is actually the review for this has not come out yet. But I will tell you a couple things. It, for me, feels like the perfect bridge between summer and autumn, where in summer, if you're like me, you really enjoy barbecue. And then as it starts to creep into fall, and you're not quite over that barbecue experience, but you're still having some smoked meat here and there, but it's starting to get cooler, it gives me that kind of vibe. And I'm talking about H.H. Bold Kentucky. And some of the notes I have here, hear me out. On the tin, I wrote smoking beef ribs while out camping. And then the taste, barbecue smoke for sure. Got this umami mushroom note. It's earthy, it's dusty and musty, kind of like one of my honorable mentions that I'm about to mention. And again, I got a cinnamon note from it. So there's something about cinnamon and autumn that just makes sense to me, I guess. So number 3, H.H. Bold Kentucky by McBaron. Number 4 is going to be a burley blend with some Black Cavendish and some Virginias. And it is something that I noticed was at the top of a lot of people's list when it comes specifically to burley-based blends. And this is another one that I just tried for the first time in 2024. And it blew me away. It is ridiculously good. And I'm very sad because I actually did a review for it. I filmed it. I think I started editing it, and then somehow I just never uploaded it, and I erased the footage. So I need to go back and do a review of this blend at some point for you guys. Sadly, we won't get that first impressions video, but I'm talking about Pegasus, baby. And I think Pegasus is properly named because it is a mythical blend. It is special and so hard to describe the experience of it, but suffice to say, it is fantastic and it is worth your time. Some of the notes that I wrote down for this one: on the tin, we've got raisin bread with goopy cream cheese frosting, a little bit of funk, a little bit of chocolate, and those chocolate notes certainly come through in the taste as well, along with a really, really creamy smoke and some strong nutty flavors. So all those things that you expect from a good burley are there. And that is going to be my number 4 choice, Pegasus, from Cornell and Diehl, of course. All right. Before I get to my final choice and the thing that happens to be in this pipe at this very moment, so some honorable mentions. So first honorable mention, and this might upset some of you that it's actually not on the list, is Haunted Bookshop. Why is Haunted Bookshop not on the list? Quite simply, I just put it on, well, not just, but I recently put it on a list for gloomy weather blends, and I wanted to offer something new to you guys. So I didn't put Haunted Bookshop, but Haunted Bookshop, 100%. If nothing else, Halloween, baby, right? So Haunted Bookshop. Another one was McBaron's Golden Extra. Another one of my members suggested this for this video, and kind of the same reason. I mentioned it in another one of my lists. I actually mentioned it for spring, but I think it's a fantastic fall blend as well. I feel like there's a lot of crossover there where you, at least for me, I want something heavier than a straight Virginia, but lighter than a super strong English blend. And then one more before I reveal my final choice. I was really tempted to put this on the list but I decided not to because it's a special release and I wanted to only have things that are more or less readily available. And that would be any version, but in particular, this year's version, I guess, of 8 State Burley. Cornell and Deal's 8 State Burley, a consistently fantastic Burley blend, but it also sold out, I think, in like a single day, maybe less than a day. So if you can't get a hold of it, I don't want to recommend it to you because then you can't find it. You can't even see what I'm talking about, right? But next year, 8 State Burley, if they do another release, for sure. And without any further ado, what I have in this pipe right now, and something that I wrote in my notes as the ultimate fall blend, I think was the wording that I used. I've got the tin right here. I'm not sure you can see it. Cobblestone Hiking, baby. And this is a blend that I had actually not really heard of until a ton of my viewers told me about it and said, you gotta try Cobblestone Hiking. And I'm so glad that I did. And rather than go to my notes for this one, why don't I just pop the tin open and let you know what I'm smelling right here, right now, on this beautiful fall evening. And this comes as a flake. I don't know if it's meant to be a broken flake, but mine was pretty broken up when I got it. Nice and dark. It is a Burley blend. Even read the back here for you in a second, but yep, that is just delicious, chocolatey, earthy. Get kind of like a cereal note, so it's like a Count Chocula cereal or something like that. Granola, just all those hearty burley notes that you look for in a good burley. And I can go ahead and read the back for you too. So it says, the Outdoor Series by Cobblestone is designed to be the perfect companion for your next adventure in nature, with the Hikin blend offering burley in a flake cut for a taste as bold as your next great wilderness escape. And one of the cool things about Cobblestone Hiking, from every bit of research I've done, and I haven't done a lot, it seems to just be 100% burley. And I really think of burley when I think of fall. So partly for that reason, it felt like the ultimate fall blend, but also there's just such an earthy kind of dried leaf note that I get. That reminds me of those fallen red and orange and yellow leaves that fall to the ground. You crunch through when you're hiking up a Raspberry Mountain. It's a mountain that I like to hike up in the fall. It has all the beautiful changing colors and a really nice view at the top. So it goes with hiking for sure. So good name there. But yeah, such a wonderful blend, and I think the perfect blend for fall. So that is my number one choice. I would love to hear your opinion if you've tried any of these blends, if you feel like I made the right choice in putting them in this autumn fall list, or if you would have put something else. I honestly could have put dozens and dozens of blends because, like I said, I just love enjoying my pipe in the fall. For me, it's the perfect weather because it's not so cold that I'm stuck inside because I don't really have a place to smoke indoors. But it's also cool enough that I feel like I could really enjoy any burley and any heavier English and not feel the heat of summer sort of ruining that experience for me. I know a lot of you guys do not associate different blends with different seasons or necessarily even different times of day, but I definitely do. I've always been very in touch with the seasons, and I like to celebrate the seasons with different kinds of drinks and different kinds of pipe tobacco. So that's my list for you. I am definitely going to be doing another one for winter, and after that, I don't know if this is something I would do every year, but if you like this content, if you think I should come up with a new list every year for the seasons, let me know. Otherwise, these will be my recommendations for the foreseeable future, and I'll just stick with the top 10 of the year, which you can look forward to at the end of December. Anyway, hope you got some value out of that. Thanks for hanging out.